In this lesson we're going to learn how to make this 5-step spiral staircase with an outer glass wall and a wooden column in the middle. So let's start. So first thing we want to do is right click on the ground and click on create. You notice that we have a square cube here, but we want to change that to this cylinder. So we click on cylinder and then we click on the ground. We need to edit that. At the moment the one tool is selected, so we want to change that to the edit. So right click on that and click on edit, and we want to change the size of it, which is at the moment X is 0.5 and Y is 0.5. We want to change that to 7.0 for the X and 7.0 for the Y. The height of it we want 0.2 and tab. So you notice every time I press a tab and that actually enters it. At the moment it's not sitting on the ground, so we want to lower that down. So to lower it we use a position. We see at the moment the position is 300.5. So we're going to use this bottom arrow and we're going to click on that until it to bring it down. If you notice it's got this yellow glow around it, but as soon as it hits the ground the glow at the bottom removes, so that's how we know it's on the ground. The next thing you want to do is make it into a quarter of that size. So we go into this area which is called path cut, this path cut here, and we want to change that to 0.8 and press tab. We want 7 pieces, the 5 steps plus the one piece for the outer glass wall and for the inner column. So to do that we go to this wand here and we click on the copy selection, and now we can click on the top of this and it does an exact copy of what's below. So we're going to do that another few times. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. And we'll close that dialog box there. The next thing, for the steps we want to actually rotate them. So to rotate them nice and equally we're going to use a rotation tool. So we're going to right click on the second one from the bottom, edit. So that's the second one from the bottom, and you see where it's got rotation Z, which I've got highlighted. I'm going to type in there 10.0 and that rotates the first step. And click on the second one, we're going to rotate at 20, and then click on the next one, that's going to be 30, tab, and next one 40, tab. Let's see how many pieces we've got there. So we've got one more. I think that's it really. So we've got our 1 at the bottom. We'll just have a quick count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 pieces. Good. Next thing we want to do is we want to create our outer glass wall. So we can click on the top one, and to create that we're going to make it hollow. So we go to this hollow here. At the moment the hollow is 0.00, so we want to just type in 95 and and press tab. And for our height we go down to a size. At the moment it's 0.2, we change that to 6.0. It's actually below the ground, but we'll worry about that in a minute. And for our center column we click on that. We want to make that 2. So for our size, at the moment it's 7, we want to change that to 2.0, and 2 for the X, and for the Y 2.0. Let's do it, didn't actually go. That's 2.0 and tab. We want to make a full circle, so we go back to our path cut here, and we want the down arrow, we click on the down arrow, and that starts to fill out. If we just click and hold, it just fills out quickly. We want to change the height of that, so we go to the size. At the moment it's 0.2, so we want to change that to 6. And we want to raise, yeah, that's good. So the next thing we want to do is we want to join all the steps, and we want to give them a wood texture. So let me come around here so you can see it easier. So click on the first one, hold down the CTRL button, the control button on your keyboard, and then click on the 4 other steps until they're all highlighted. And while holding down the control button, just press your L letter on the keyboard, and that links them all together. And now I'm going to change the color of them. So I'll go to texture, click on texture, that box, and that opens up the pick texture. In the filler texture area, that search area, I'm going to type in wood, and that brings up the one I want, true rich wood flooring. I click on that. It hasn't selected the 2 bottom, done the 2 bottom correctly, so I'm just going to click on it again to make sure that it does it all, so that does it correctly. So I close that down. I want to show you something on the outside of the wall. You notice it doesn't quite look right. That's because the outer wall isn't large enough. So I'm going to make that a bit larger. So I click on the outer wall, click on object, and in size I'm going to change that to 7.5 for the X and 7.5 for the Y. I'm going to also change the texture to blank. I'm going to pick blank and click on OK, and I want to change the transparency to 50. So I type in 50 and press and enter. So that changes that to 50. So the last thing I want to do is for the design bit, I want to change the column to the brown wood. So I click on texture and the picker tool, and I'm going to select it from this brown here, and that changes that. Click on OK, so that's done. Something you notice with the steps, this wall, it doesn't go all the way round, so we can extend that round by doing two things. We go to the object. I'm going to just come on the outside so you can actually see what I'm doing. And you see where it's got our path cut. I'm going to click on the down arrow, and that makes it wider. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've done it 5 times. I want to rotate that around, so I go to the rotation Z, and if I click on the down arrow, you notice it goes that way, but we want to go the other way. It's gone -1, so we want to go. So we go to the top arrow and just hold it down, or we can just click, and that brings it round. So you see it's gone to 65. Let's close that down and have a quick look at that. And the last thing we want to link it all together, so we right click on the steps and click edit, hold down the CTRL button again, click on the wall and click on the center column, so that highlights everything. Hold it down and press the L letter, and that links everything together. We want to give it a name. Click on the general and we call it Spiral Stairs version 1, and we click away. When we click back on it, we just make sure that it has been done. We right click and we want to click on more, and we want to take a copy of that, and that should go into our inventory.